schools.
Thank you so
How
much.
is your province performing?
Thank you so much. Maybe to start with, allow me to start by indicating also the mandate of our association where sports is concerned in the province. Ours is to look after our learners, discover talent, expose them so that to those who are able to identify them and take them, they can take them so that they be, the future of Southern Province where sports is concerned. As a province, we are doing well. We are just coming from a very serious competition that we had last month in August, which was sponsored by Zanaco, dubbed as Under-17 Grassroots, where as a province, I can tell you that we competed and we came, in fact, on the girls' side, we came out on the 4th position out of the 10 provinces that went to compete. On the other side, our boys emerged as champions, scooping the first ever Zanaco tournament. That was
so, Mr. Mzamba, maybe just to cut you short,
sure.
Obviously we'll come back to the Zanaco tournament, but before that, maybe you tell us what you are doing as a province to improve sports in schools.
All right, thank you so much. As an association, of course, we have different tournaments within the province that is motivating our schools and also our learners so that they can be discovered. Apart from that, of course, we have got the building capacities going around. We have got the FAS coming in to help, especially the rural part, even the young ones, those who are looking at the young ones in primary schools. So having those building capacity, I'm telling you that people within the province, the schools and also sports teachers have come to like the sports in the province.
Okay, so there have always been some assertions that usually when you go out as a province, you usually, even as a district, you usually leave out people from the rural areas. Pupils from the rural areas do not have chances as those that are along the line of rail, like they would say. How are you addressing that issue?
Thank you so much. Yeah, indeed, the sessions would be in that way, but of course, our programs are always planned early in the year, whereas we start from a school level. So at a school level, we have a sports teacher there who can even start, identifying this talent in a classroom situation. And after that, they would come and say, maybe we are going to have the interclass. From there, they select. So the ladder goes until they come at a province level. So I can assure with you that, of course, people do think otherwise, that a talent is left out. But the talent that we pick as a province, the competition starts right in the classroom. So for me, I think it is otherwise, but everyone is scattered when we are doing a selection.
Mr. Liebu, how are you addressing that assertion where people are always saying talent is always left in the rural, whilst you only consider those that are along the line of rail?
Well, I think in the first place, I want to appreciate all those concerns. It shows that significantly people really appreciate sports and they are able to note those. Otherwise, I think like this year's sports outing, we engaged almost everyone. I think if there would be anyone who would complain as a district, I think maybe it could be not in the know. Otherwise, we learned of that complaint, and like this year we went further, and we were so blessed that even the provincial executive, through their writings and their pieces of legislation, allowed most of the head teachers to accompany, their learners who in this state are athletes to Kalomo. I think this year's activities engulfed everyone from all sectors of all areas of Choma. Even in the federal schools, we picked, including teachers from schools, even from community schools, we picked them this time around.
Okay.
Sure.
So sports has a number of stakeholders. That also includes parents. From what we hear is that in your organization of sports, there's some age limits, so to say, or restrictions. Maybe you can say something on that so that people are aware of what is happening.
Yes, all right. The way school sports is being organized, it has a level of age to compete. For example, we don't go beyond the 18 years in our competition, so all our athletes must be under 17. Now, it's not that we only have the under 17s, we have other categories that are involved in our school sports, such as the under 13, the under 15, and as I mentioned earlier on, the under 17. But at the school level, of course, we don't limit. We can even have those below this 7 years can also participate in these sporting activities. So we have the categories of age, but those that would go for competition, we have under 13s, under 15s, and also the under 17s.
Okay, so in Zambia, Mr. Lievo, there's this trend of age cheating. It's everywhere. It's at the national level. Sometimes we even hear it at CAF and FIFA. Some players have been banned over it. How are you addressing that issue on the district level?
All right, great. So, it's very unfortunate that we forget the process. We always run away from the process. I think that's what lands us to that end. We look at the reward and we forget about what we're going to develop. I think in most cases we always want to win rather than to sustain the winning. All right. So as a district, I think especially coming to the end of the previous sporting season, I think we tried by all means to make sure that we bring in the correct age. So by so doing, we are employing to have lots of competitions so that other people do not feel left out. Because why they want to cheat is because they want to participate and win. So we are trying to look at the aspect of winning. Let us stay away from the aspect of winning, okay? But the aspect of developing. So we should respect the process of winning rather than to go to the top notch of winning. If you've seen abroad, they are looking at developing football. Chair here, Mr. Mzamba, mentioned that we shouldn't be shy to also include the under 17s, all right? So, but then the under 7 and 7A, those who are still in school.
Sure.
What we need to look at is to provide appropriate sporting equipment, okay? And then provide enough activities that will bring on everyone. By so doing, you'd find that we're going to have all those age categories competing in their appropriate age category competition. In as much as we skip one level, it will take us to cheat. Okay, meaning we're not respecting the process of development and constant winning. So what we need to do is let us bring in more competition so that everyone do not have that anxiety to field in and win, but an anxiety to field in and process having the top-notch athletes. Otherwise, by doing that, like in our province, we've Chair, I'm sure you've heard about our program, our league. It's pure under 15 with appropriate equipment. Under 13, an under 13 playing on a field which a professional player is playing from, and also a goalpost player is playing from, makes it quite difficult. We tone their muscles, their development, their loading is different. So even the under 13s, we want them to compete, but not on that soccer pitch, the 90 by 45, no. We need to play 7-a-side at least. So we are trying to bring in more competition so that we reduce the anxiety of winning so that we can develop.
Okay.
Sure.
Mr. Mzamba, obviously with the coming of free education, a number of pupils have enrolled in school, even those that are out of the required age in sports. What are you doing about those that are above age? Do you just throw them away, or what do you do to them?
Okay, thank you so much. Of course, a process has been introduced. We don't usually throw them away, but for now, what we just have, the system that we have been using is the under 17s. So what we are doing with those who are over the required age that we've had for a longer time, they compete up to a certain level, and then when we proceed going to the nation, they don't participate. But at a local level, they are also included into the participation.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe to find out from you gentlemen, what do you really use to determine the age of these learners?
Yeah, so it's quite a trick one, Chair. It's quite a trick one. So we are struggling. So I'm saying we are struggling because you know, at an advanced level, there is that exposure to MRI and so on and so forth. But then when it comes to us, we of course use the documents such as a birth record, birth certificates and the NRCs, and of course the morphology, which has completely failed us. But then I can assure you that we are really struggling, but we are moving forward. We hope that the right opportunity to come when the issue of the age cheating will be passed on our side.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Mzamba. My understanding is that you've had the Zanaco tournament, which, according to my understanding, started from the school level. As a district, Mr. Liewu, sure, how much did you prepare for this tournament?
Learning that this tournament is ongoing, I think it's from what our work plan will now guide. We've prepared ourselves now to go in, and this time around we are using the local league that we have put in place, which is the under 15 league, which will now have these pupils graduate. I think one of the things that should be notably being known is that we should respect sports longevity, and it's because of that angle that's why we are not doing very well. But now, because of this system we've put in place, I think going forward we are going to have two great players who are going to compete in these activities, especially for Zanaco. How we wish that we can have other sponsors to come on board also to pick even these other sports courts. And as for Zanaco, like we did previously, I think even going forward, even this time, we are going to put more effort to bring on athletes to start to continue training, especially those who are remaining in school. Those the grade 12s, they are gone. Now we're focusing on the grade 10s, 11s, as well as the Form 1s whom we have in school.
Mr. Mzamba, how was the Zanaco tournament organized in the province? How did you come up with a team?
Thank you so much. The way Zanaco was organized this time around, because if I may take you back, this tournament was supposed to be held, I think, it was supposed to start some 2 years ago, but it couldn't take off until this year when we happened to participate. So when we were informed that this year Zanaco will take off, we had little time to prepare, and because at every beginning of the year, we usually have a planning meeting where we plan the rest of the activities until the end of the year. And in our planning meeting, we had not included Zanaco separately. So what we did was, when the communication came, we had to include it into because this year we had a GAR. Maybe to take you through the stages of sports so that maybe listeners may understand.
Sure.
Our sports activities, they start at a school level. So from a school level, they will go to a zonal level. So as a school, maybe you may have inter-houses. From the inter-houses, then you form a team of a school. Then from a school, within the clustered proximity area, there are what we call zones. Sure. So these schools will compete and form a zone. And after a zone, that zone within the district, again, there are a number of zones, maybe 4 or 5 or 8 up. So, and these zones again will compete to form up now a district. So in that vein, we could not go that way where Zanaco is concerned, but because of the limited time that we had planned to have a GARA, and that is the opportunity we use to come up with the selected players that we use for Zanaco, and it worked for us.
Okay. Mr. Liewu, my understanding is that in your district you have more than 200 schools, and of course the Zanaco tournament was all about football, which needed 11 players. How difficult was it to come up with that limited number of players from a pool of players? If my understanding is well, I think that's over 2,000 players.
Sure. Actually, We want to, maybe through this platform, I think we need to also acknowledge the efforts which the head teachers are putting in place, as well as from the DEP's office. You know, Choma is sitting with 18 zones, all right? Like he's mentioned in schools. Now, those are clustered in 18 primary zones, and also 4 groups of secondary schools. And in each group of these, you find that there are about 10 to 11. And looking at how competitive it was really, really a serious one. Okay, and it was difficult, but we managed to pull through. And looking at how our term has been, the previous term was not that fair to us. If you recall, we were supposed to have SPA and the staff, and it kept on being adjusted. And we, looking at time that what we had, we resorted of having trials. Okay, we resorted of having trials which were quite successful. Of course, we missed out good players had we gone the normal traditional route of selecting. Otherwise, it was quite hard. I can mention to you, but we thank all the head teachers who came on board to send through the athletes that we had requested to come through for selection and also assessment. And that's how we came up with those 2 teams that we sent through for these competitions at the Ghana. It was quite hard. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Mr. Mzamba, how did Team Southern perform at this year's Zanaco tournament? Maybe you can just tell the listeners who may not be aware. Some are not even aware that this tournament took place, and they don't even know how Team Southern performed. So maybe you can take this opportunity to tell the listeners.
Oh yeah. So after the gala, that was held in Kalomo. Of course, we had a break, then reconvened in Mazabuka from 1st up to 7th of August. And then the purpose of our reconvening there was, of course, to brand, to coordinate, and to unite as one. And we traveled to Lusaka there on the 7th and kicked off our competition on the 8th through to 12th. I can inform the listeners that our boys and girls really competed so well, favorably. Maybe I start with the girls. The girls, the under 17 category, I think they had their first 4 games. They went through without a loss, and they encountered their first loss on the semi, and I think that one could have attributed to the fatigue that I think they went through. The programming of course we have done a recommendation through the organizers that I think next time that one should be looked at, because on the second day when they were even qualifying for the semis, they had to play 3 games. And then they were, taken for the semis. That was not even accepted, I think, in sports. So they lost their semis, and then they went through to the 3rd and 4th. Again, they couldn't make it. But of course, their loss, of course, again, they were coming in a form of the draws. Then they go for post penalty, and then they were losing from that angle. Yes, and the boys went through. They had a very tough group. Of course, in our group we had Lusaka. We had Copperbelt, we had the 3 of us, all the giants.
That sounds like a group of death. How does Zanaco come up with such groups? Is there no seeding, kind of?
Yeah, so I think those are recommendations we have done. When the groupings were being done, we were not invited as the provinces, the chairpersons or the secretaries. We just received the already done groups. So we were also wondering how we could bring those giants in the same group, but we received those before we could travel, and then we talked. The coaches said, "No, this is ours," because I think we've always wanted to meet these giants in our groups. So our boys went through. They never lost in game through up to the finals, where they in fact considered a goal of the tournament in the final. So I think they competed so well, and they won a prize of 50,000 kwacha, which came direct to the POs. So we even want to thank also the POs for the facilitation that they did, include the head teachers who made us possible that we can convene in Mazabuka, brand coordinate, and I think the results were brought home.
Oh yeah. Congratulations to Team Southern. Congratulations to you, Chair Obviously, as Choma, you also contributed to that victory. Congratulations to you, Chair, as a province. I think we are very much proud of you.
Yeah.
Now, maybe just a quick one, Mr. Mzamba. How are you preparing now so that you defend the trophy that you won? Of course, going forward, if the tournament is going to continue, everyone would want to beat the champions. How are you preparing now for the coming tournament?
Yeah, so it is really tough for us. You know, when you are a champion, you are always a target, but we are bringing the pieces also together. This one has gone. We are no longer counting it. Of course, it's a motivation on our side, but we are saying it has gone. We are waiting for the next one. We are yet to sit and plan, but of course in our plans, the preliminary plans, we want to increase the number of local tournaments in the province, so that most of the schools, secondary schools and also even primary schools, those who are at that age can be catered for. We are also planning that we see how best we can also involve the local Zanaco Southern Province here, so that this tournament, even right at the grassroots, at the beginning, it is being separated from the initial planning that we have for the schools. And I think that one will give a high motivation to the districts and also the schools, so that they can specifically compete under the Zanaco tournament. Like, that's the way we intensify on our plannings.
Okay. Mr. Diabo, obviously Choma being the headquarter of Southern Province, it may be regarded as the giant of Southern Province. And from what you said initially, you said you came out fourth at the provincial gala. Do you think that was the best position for Choma district?
Not at all. Not at all. There were a lot of factors involved there. However, we want to look at that one because we've set ourselves and we've already thrown in on how we're going to work this coming year. The fourth wasn't good in ball games. I think our coaches and also our technical football bench, I think they are doing their best to improve that fourth position, especially in football as well as in athletics. It wasn't good at all. But we're putting more arsenal to
So obviously that's what we want to hear. What are you putting in place maybe to improve on the position going forward? Okay, so is there anything you're doing?
Yes, actually what happened was immediately we came back from Kalomo, where we had our gala. We gathered and we called on a huge capacity building on the ball game coaches. It was held at Adastra with the courtesy of Dr. Mizinga, who was there as a key speaker, and also Mr. Munyama Akbot, including also the DISACA chairperson, Mr. Sikwa. It was a very successive. So what we did, coming back from that loss and coming back from that fourth position, we regrouped. And we had to make sure that we go through to see what made us get to that end. Of course, those factors were looked at during that capacity building. And we also had the practical, where all the coaches were given drills, and up to now, there are some activities that they are doing, and we are hoping that this is September, this is October, we're going to have an evaluation of what everyone was given to do. So it is from there where we are so optimistic that we are going to have good results going forward.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Diabo. Mr. Mzamba, the winning team, how are you retaining those boys? Obviously, my understanding is that others are completing this year and they'll be out of the school system. How do you make sure that the talent doesn't just go to waste? Those were your pupils.
Thank you. Of course, during our competition in Kalomo, we were so lucky to have FAS in our midst, and they also even took a part in selecting our teams. And we are working now in collaboration that especially these that are leaving school should not just go without being noticed. I can even inform you that of course, I've not heard you talking about the under 17, which is right now in Harare. We have our boy. Of course, we are so privileged that during their convening in Lusaka, we had sent about 4 boys who went there to represent us, and a good number of those, I think, they are leaving school. And when we have such a number joining FAS, I think it will help us to have a data where these boys can be kept and looked after. So these who are leaving, they are not leaving us; they are leaving us and joining the FAS data so that they can continue with their sporting activities.
Maybe also let me make me understand on how school sports operate in relation to the Football Association of Zambia. Do you have any memorandum of understanding between schools and FAS in as far as organizing of football is concerned?
Yes, I'm sure a week ago or two we saw it on news where as the FAS secretary will put it in clear that I think there will be now a memorandum of understanding between the schools and also FAS. Previously, we had done our local arrangement where when we have these activities, would invite FAS so that they can share their expertise and also help in areas that I think we cannot manage, of course, with materials and also just the knowledge on how best we can improve our football in the province. But we are glad now that I think it has been taken at that level where the PS and also including the FAS secretary have included that. I think they will now put it on an ink that this one be worked together with the FAS and also the Ministry of Education.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe now, dear listeners, we're going on a break, and when we come back, we still have a number of programs lined up. We are going to discuss about under 17 outing, which yesterday they faced South Africa. We're still going to talk about the local league. Green Eagles today is playing against FC Muza, as well as the English Premier League, and many more things to come. Please don't go away. Dear listeners, we're still on the sports segment. Here I'm joined with David. I'm also joined with the SIPSA chairperson as well as with Todisa chairperson. We've discussed a number of issues pertaining to sports in the province as well as in the district. So now, maybe just to wind up on sports in the province as well as in the district. I'm also told that Southern Province took part in the Yona Mwale Athletics Tournament, which were held on the Copper Board. Maybe you can kindly brief us.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so amusing and amazing, and thanks so much to Zas and Nick, who collaborated with Sa for a wonderful outshow of sports there in Rwansha at Kafugu Road Stadium. It was a colorful event where our boys and girls in schools participated and competing amongst each other. It was so great that seeing boys like Ben Siambelele from Babala there, as well as Riano Gamela and Charity Monga from Siaskabole. It was so nice that Southern Province and Choma in particular participated, and we brought in so much medals. There in Rwansha, Southern Province emerged victorious after having almost all the races where we've been recording, starting from under 17 as well as under 13, including all the field events where we had the likes of Anna Mudenda from Choma Day, who did tremendous very well and minted a gold medal, as well as Ben Siambelele in his 1,500. I think that was so great for us as Choma, because we had those boys who fished.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe on the same, your final remarks on sports in the province, Mr. Mzamba.
Thank you so much. Let me take this opportunity to thank our provincial education office, the DEBs around the province, the teachers and everyone, including you, have brought us here, and the parents, of course, we cannot forget about them. Ours is to expose the talent. That is our duty. And then when we would have gone, wherever that talent is found, in the rural, in the urban, wherever, we have a mandate that talent is being identified and being exposed. So we are asking our well-wishers, our stakeholders, that let's work together so that child who is in far-flying areas is brought on a line map so that they can be identified. Because we realize that we have got talent everywhere, and we want these boys and girls to excel in life. Thank you so much for bringing us here. I think we have really enjoyed ourselves. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe just a quick one, David. Today we have a number of games in the Zambian Premier League. Among them, we have Kabwe Warriors facing Kana at Godfrey Fuyuka Chitalo Stadium in Kabwe. We also have Konkola Blades against FC Leopards. We have Mufrida Wanderers facing Zesco United. We also have Power Dynamos against Napsa Stars. This will be played at Arthur Davis Stadium. We also have Red Arrows against Changa Rangers and beaten Changa Rangers they are playing this one at Nkoloma Stadium in Osaka. Then we also have Green Buffalo against Mines United, as well as our own Green Eagles facing FC Moza. How do you look at the games, David?
I think looking at the line of games, it's a very busy weekend that we are going into. We've got a good number of teams that have played games so well in the opening 2 or 3 matches or so. But I think going into week 4 of the league, everyone is now trying to settle down, and I think it's going to be a good round of games. I would want to talk about the big game in Choma. Green Eagles coming up against Muza. I think if we were to go back to the 4 or 5 games that we played, statistics would tell us to say Muza has an upper hand. In the previous match that we played together here in Choma, Green Eagles did manage to win, to carry the game by a goal to win. But statistics would tell you to say in the 5 games that we've played, most of the points have been going to Muza. We've managed to play a draw. They've beat us 3 times. I think moving into today's game, we're going to align ourselves well. Green Eagles quite right, has a few injuries here and there, but having an experienced coach like Uncle Perry Mtepa, I think we're going to see a very, very interesting game. I think looking at the game that we played in the last game we played here in Choma, in as much as we lost against the Changa Rangers, we did apply ourselves so well on the pitch. I think going forward, Green Eagles is going to be an interesting team to watch, especially in Choma.
You just talked about how Chinitos has been performing in FC Muza. Maybe just let me run you through from 2023 how they faced each other. Muza in 2023, Muza edged Green Eagles by 1-0. And again, the same year, 2023, Green Eagles was edged by 4-0. This was played at Choma Independence Stadium. You remember that game? And then in 2024, FC Muza again beat Green Eagles in Mazabuka. And then the reverse fixture was a barren draw. And then the recent past, on the 17th of May, I think that was the last game Green Eagles played at home. They won Muza by 1-0. So if we are to look at these stats, FC Muza, like you mentioned, have an edge over Green Eagles. What gives you confidence that today Green Eagles may turn up on this match?
I think it's a difference in tactical awareness and approach of the game. If we're to be honest with ourselves, we're not to say we have a new coach here in Choma, we have a new coach with Green Eagles. I feel the tactical approach of the game, the entire game has changed. We now have, last time we had the likes of Coach Namazaba, who had a different approach to the game. Perim Tapa also is a different coach with a different philosophy. I feel it's going to be a whole different kind of Green Eagles going into the season.
Okay. Green Eagles so far, in the 3 games they've played, they've managed to win 1 game. That was against Napsa. They managed to draw. That was against Zesco United. And they lost 1 game at home. That was against Nchanga Rangers. What do you expect of the results today?
I think the biggest thing for Green Eagles is to manage is how to manage home games, because I think in the past 2 or few seasons backwards we've been struggling playing home, but we've been good travelers. I think looking at our track record, even this season, we've been able to manage to win away from home. Then we played to a goalless draw, to a 1-0 draw against Zesco United back in Dola with a packed stadium where Zesco United has at least a big fan base there. I think we're a very, very well organized team. It's just a matter of screwing in, just attaching a few screws here and there when we're playing at home. And I feel coming in today's game, we're going to apply ourselves well on the ground, on the pitch. Okay,
maybe a message to the listeners out there. Today, Green Eagles takes on FC Muza at Choma's Independence Stadium at exactly 15 hours. And the charges on the gate are 20 kwacha for male and female adults, and the 10 kwacha for children, and then a VIP, 100 kwacha for VIP. So we expect to see a good number of Choma residents are trekking to the stadium to cheer up our own Green Eagles, which we are hoping this time around we are going to play Continental. Do you share the same sentiments?
Anything is possible.
Do you think it's attainable this time around?
Anything is possible in the game of football. Whatever you're doing, if you believe and you train well, we're going to make it.
Okay, so the other fixtures are maybe in the English Premier League. Today, Arsenal is facing Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth is facing Brighton, Crystal Palace will be playing Sunderland, Aston Villa will be out at Everton, Fulham will face Leeds United, Newcastle will play against Wolverhampton Wanderers, West Ham will play against Tottenham Hotspur, and Brentford will be playing Chelsea at exactly 21 hours. And the big one tomorrow, Manchester United will be embarrassing Manchester City.
It's not even a big one, I think. It's it's not even a big match, I think, that we'll be watching tomorrow. I think the biggest match is Chelsea coming back from the preseason, from the international break. But of course, I think this weekend is packed with football. If we're to be honest as football lovers, it will be packed with football. And I just hope the other side, the United, but
okay, so this is where we end our program, our sports segment today. And do catch us next week at exactly same time, 11 hours, where we're going to talk nothing but sports. Thank you so much to our dear listeners, and thank you for people that have joined me on the program. Thank you so much, and see you at the stadium, and see you next week, Saturday. Bye-bye.
Sonde ni dunku bana ba mulungu tiri kudu sitiri